2.49. It hits you in the gut. It really hit me. The last pada was very important. So, and it sounds also very beautiful. And we'll try a little differently today. We'll just do the part and then see what it means. First, the sound. Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanamanvichha krapana phalahetavaha. Now, see how beautifully the sound has come together. Durena yavaram karma. It has the music in itself. Durena yavaram karma. Durena is dur se, from a distance, by far. Dur tak, dur, far out. And really, the Sanskrit means very close to the English use of far out or by far. Yavaram is made of two words, hi and avaram. He in Sanskrit almost means like he in Hindi. Definitely, indeed. And whenever Sri Krishna likes to emphasize things, he puts this he. Avaram. Avaram is the negative of the word varam. And what is varam? You have heard of it probably so many times. Swayam vara. When a lady in the old times, when a woman, even now it's love marriages. So when a man and woman choose themselves, choose each other by themselves. So that is varana, right? Varana is to embrace, to take, to absorb, to accept, from which the meaning vara is the original significance of Varuna. Varuna is one of the very important devas in the Veda. So Varuna and Mitra, these are the two most important devas. The other two is Bhaga or Bhaga and Aryamana. Four devas that are important for your emotional development, for the development of your emotional being. And so Varuna, who accepts everything, Varuna accepts because Vara, he accepts. So Varuna is he who embraces everything. He's wide, so vast that he can embrace everything. So Varuna is our emotional being has to be so vast that it can embrace everything. Mitra, and you know the word Mitra even now carries that significance. Mitra is the god or the deva of love and harmony, joy and goodwill towards everyone. So Varuna Mitra come in the second sukta of the Veda. They are so important, in which the Rishi invokes Varuna and Mitra to come to his yajna. The yajna is the spiritual development. First Agni is invoked. Then after that Vibhin Devas. Agni is the first Deva to be invoked. Then sometimes it's Vayu, sometimes it's Indra, usually Indra, and then the other Devas. So Varuna and Mitra are two very important Devas of our ancient Rig Veda. Varuna, of course, again, the same significance. This will help you remember what Vara means. So Avaram is that which you don't embrace, which is lowly, inferior. Karma. Karma, simple. The word that is transformed here is karman. Karman means activity. Karman becomes karma. Karma is the prathama vibhakti here. So here, if you see, there is no verb. The verb asti is implied, to be. So durena hyavaram karma. By far, work is inferior. By far, from a great distance, work is inferior. Avaram. Buddhi yogat dhananjaya. Dhananjaya, of course, you have heard that. Dhananjaya is a title used for Arjuna, one who can conquer all the wealth of the world, one who has conquered. And by wealth, is meant prosperity, opulence, the real riches of life. Buddhi yogat. Now, Buddhi yoga is very important to Sri Krishna. And all that we have been talking about is Buddhi yoga, sharpening the Buddhi. All that we have been talking about is sharpening the Buddhi. Buddhi is that which can see from within, inner sight, inner perception. There was a great writer, Louis Renou, French Indologist, who said, Dhi is inner seeing. So Buddhi is that which can see. No more thinking. You've gone beyond thinking to seeing. So Buddhi Yoga, the yoga that comes from direct sight. So what is he saying? Compared to Buddhi Yoga, work is by far inferior. Now you say, Sri Krishna, you just told us to do karma. You're telling us to fight. If we don't fight, we don't get svarga. We have papa. If we don't fight, we lose our swadharma. All these reasons, akirti karam Arjuna, anarya jushtama swargyam, it is anarya. Now you're telling work, karma is inferior. What is it then? Is it ghoda or chatura? It cannot be both. Right? If you remember that movie in that Mahmood is confused by the singer, who is that? I forget, Sunil Dutt, and when he confuses the singer,
Kishore Kumar.
huh?
Kishore Kumar.
Kishore Kumar, yes. So kabhi ghoda, kabhi chatur. Ek swar pakdo. So that's what Sri Krishna does. But go deeper into it. And what he's saying to us is, yes, I have asked you to do karma. But not any karma. What people think is, okay, just do karma. Just do, then whatever. The quality of the karma is very important. And the Makaranji is saying Padosan. Yes, that movie was Padosan. Kabhi ghoda, kabhi chatur. So, kabhi karma, kabhi buddhi yoga. So you said, don't leave this world. Don't get into the Sankhya yoga. Do karma. Now you're saying buddhi yoga is higher. And this question will come back. But the karma of the quality of the buddhi yoga, that is where Sri Krishna is taking. Sri Krishna is always ascending higher and pulling us with him, pulling our intelligence with him. So here he's criticizing karma. Earlier he had criticized the Veda. Earlier he had criticized the attitude of taking sannyasa. So even his contradictions on the surface are deep insights. And that is the genius we will see of Sri Krishna. And that's why the Gita can be very confusing. If you just take one shloka, it may mean exactly the opposite of what the whole synthetic significance of the great scripture is. Buddhau sharanam anvichha. Now this is very beautiful. And it always takes me back to the other term that is used in our tradition, Buddham sharanam gacchami. And Buddha came much later. So there are some people who say Buddha came earlier than the Gita, but most common sensical approach is that the Gita was earlier. And so it gives a reference. And when people say, how was the sound or the shlokas of Buddhism influenced, this sound always comes back to me, and I don't know why. But Buddhau Sharanam Anvichha. Anavichha comes from two words, anu and ichha. And you know ichha, which comes from the root ish. Ish is to desire, to want. So always have the desire to be surrendered to buddhi. Always seek to be in the control of buddhi. Buddhau sharanam anvichha. Desire. And this is a command. Like remember the lot lakar? Anvichha. Do this. Desire to be always under the control of buddhi, always surrendered to buddhi. Buddhi is higher knowledge, Vijnana. Buddhi takes us to Vijnana. Buddhi takes us to Viveka. Buddhi takes us to an inner seeing. That inner seeing is an inner knowing. You know it. There's no one going to argue. I can tell Gauravji right now, Gauravji, you don't exist. I can prove to him you don't exist. But Gauravji knows somewhere that something exists, that he is. That is Vijnana. To know. Nothing in the world can disprove it to you. That knowledge is always there. That is Vijnana. That is the inner knowing that Sri Krishna is trying to take us to. So desire to be surrendered to your buddhi, because the buddhi is the closest to your Purusha. Remember the Sankhya we did the tattvas. Prakriti has 24, Purusha. Which is the closest to the Purusha? It is the buddhi. When you reach the buddhi, you are filled with Atma Prakasha. That Atma Prakash, because it's the closest to Purusha as it's explained in our scriptures, an inner knowing, Atma Prakash, starts coming into you. So the Sri Krishna is big on karma, but karma based on the yoga of the buddhi, directed by the higher knowledge, by the higher intelligence. The word, when we use intelligence, it doesn't really translate buddhi. So Sri Aurobindo has used the word intuition. Intuition is an inner knowing. You know it, that inner knowing, that flash. That's it. No one has to explain it to you after that. If I explain to you 1 plus 1 when you're a little child, okay, 1 plus 1, then you know it. Once you have seen it, it's done. So that is the intuition, the holding, the being that itself is knowledge. And we all have it. So we have to go to the buddhi. Kripana phala hetavaha. Kripana, those who know Sanskrit, one who is a beggar, one who lacks something. Kripana. In Hindi we use kripana for a beggar. In Sanskrit it means much more than that. A wretched person, wretched, lowly person. But to me always kripana, it's like reminds me of a beggar. Those who are beggars do things phala hetava, hetu, for the sake of a fruit. So those who are beggars do things for the sake of a return. Now this is hard hitting. If you do an action for a return, then you are nothing but a beggar. Imagine, this is what he's telling us. So do not worry. Again, if you look at it externally, what is he telling Arjuna? And again, Arjuna will get confused. But what he's telling Arjuna is act from a higher consciousness, act from the buddhi. In the previous shloka, he has asked him to work from samata, samatvam yoga uchyate, yogastha kuru karmani. Be seated, be standing in yoga, and then you do your action. And look at the shlokas. Shri Krishna is basically giving him orders. Kuru, do. Here, anvichha, do, desire. He's telling him. And remember, kuru, when he's saying kuru means to do, right? Karomi is I do. Karoshi is you do. Karoti is he does or she does. When you say kuru, you're giving an order. What is the battlefield called where they're fighting? Kurukshetra. And Sri Aurobindo, I think, was the first one that I know of who brought this connection. Kurukshetra is not just a place. Kurukshetra is a field of our action. So Sri Krishna takes the field of our action, and that is our Kurukshetra. That is our Dharma Kshetra, and that is our Kurukshetra. So in that Kurukshetra, He's giving us that order. This is how you're going to fight in your Kurukshetra, in the field of your action. So it's really a very beautiful shloka. If you want to do the Anvaya, he has, if you turn it around, I think you guys are getting good at it. If you see how Dhananjaya comes at the end, but if you try to translate it into our modern languages, because in Sanskrit, order has no meaning. You can mix the words. Dhananjaya, he's talking to Dhananjaya, but Dhananjaya comes at the end. And that's okay in Sanskrit, because Sanskrit goes by vibhakti. So if it has that vibhakti, that sense will be there, whether it's the beginning or at the end. In Hindi, when we say something, aisa karne ki ichha karo, so the verb kriya comes at the end, right? The verb comes at the end. In English, if I would say desire to be surrendered to the brain, then desire, or to the buddhi, then desire would come at the beginning. But in Sanskrit, it has order is not important. But when you do Anvaya, here they have converted it. He Dhananjaya, and I'm quickly touching it so you're comfortable with it. He Dhananjaya Buddhi Yogat, compared to the Buddhi, Karma Duren, Karma is by far, Avaram, inferior. Buddhau Sharanam, in the surrender or in the control of the Buddhi, Anvicha, desire indeed. You must have that desire. Phala hetavaha, those who do things for the sake of a fruit, krapanaha, those are beggars, those are wretched beings. So Anvaya will be not too difficult for you. The key is to pick up the verb if you can. Like anvicha is a verb. Sometimes verbs are hidden. So in the first line, asti is hidden. In the fourth pada, durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya, there is no verb. The verb is implied, is hidden. Kripana phal hetavaha, only the wretched people do things for an action. So the verb is hidden. So we have to just be aware that the verbs are hidden. And as we do more of this, it will become easier. Padacheda, we can quickly take a look. And this is just to make you comfortable. He's separating the words. And this is something very unique to start it from the Vedas. So if you became a master of the Veda, you not only had to memorize the shloka, but you had to memorize it's called, I think, the Padapatha. You had to know each word and how they connected. And then there were even more complex ways to remember. So, but very simply, so he has broken it down. And if you see the second word and third, he plus avaram become hyavaram. If you look at buddhi yogat and then dhananjaya, the ta with a halant and dha becomes dha with dha. Buddhi yogad dhananjaya. Buddhi yogad dhananjaya. So that sandhi. And then sharanam ma plus a become adha ma plus a, half ma with a halant plus a becomes a full ma. So let's see what Sri Aurobindo, how he interprets it in a beautiful way. Works are far inferior to the yoga of the intelligence, O Dhananjaya. Desire rather refuge in the intelligence. Poor and wretched souls are they who make the fruit of their works the object of their thoughts and activities. So imagine every time we do something for a fruit, we are poor and wretched. And why are we poor? Because we have all the treasure of the world within us, and we are acting like beggars as if we have nothing. And this is the very powerful message that comes out from this shloka. So time-wise, where are we? We've done 24 minutes. Let's go to the recitation and remember, it's by hearing, absorbing, seeing that you will learn the language. Don't pressure yourself into memorizing the grammar, rather absorb the sounds and the tonalities. So go ahead, please.
बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः.
So see how he stretches. So the sound of dirgha is the sound of a crow. The sound of pluta is the sound of a peacock. But Brahmananji breaks those rules. Durena, he'll pull it. Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So he'll stretch it. You can play with it. And in fact, Whitney says that when you do the chanting of the shloka, push the limits. Don't have to limit in that dirgha, just dirgha is do matra. Risva is one matra. Stretch the limits. And that's where the music comes. If you see a great musician in Indian classical music, they start with the raga and then they break all the ragas. They go beyond. Pandit Jasraj, if I knew a raga and I would listen to him and I was, by the third or fourth note, I would lose him. Because my knowledge was a very little technical knowledge. This, how you going to do it? He would stretch it. He would take off. And that's what all great Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, he would go on, another world. Where are you? The raga is somewhere else. He's somewhere else. But of course, he's not doing that much. Buddhau Sharanaman Vichha Krapana Phalahetavaha. So that is the beauty. And don't be afraid of expressing yourself. You are expressing your sense of rhythm. You've been given the rules. Now you can stretch the limits. Feel free. Have that creativity come through you. Now again, remember the visarga, krapana. It's not going to be krapanaha phalahetavaha. Remember the visarg will join. Na sound is coming from where? It is murdhanya. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Right at the top of your roof of your mouth. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. And where is pa? Pa is here. Right? So you're going to do krapanaf, krapanaf, phalahetavaha. And it doesn't have to be as loud as obnoxious as my fa. Krapanaf, phalahetavaha. So the visarg will turn into the sound of a light fa. This is called upadhamaniya. This is that when the sound visarg turns into the sound near the tongue. Now, if it were a ka, then the visarg would become the sound of a kha, because it is taking you closer to that sound. So Sanskrit has to be madhur, sahaj, in a pravaha. So let's listen to him again, if you don't mind. I'm sorry. Could you play him again? And just pay attention to the visarga, what he does with the visarga and what he does with the long sounds. Okay? Dirgha, yeah.
बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः.
It's very subtle. I'm much more loud and maybe I'm stretching it too much so that you understand. And now you can catch the subtle, sukshma fluctuations. Kripana phalahetavaha. He did not say kripanaha phalahetavaha. It rolled beautifully. Right? That's the joy of Sanskrit. And we must always remember the power of sandhi. Sandhi, the significance is to roll one sound into another. Buddhi, if I had said Buddhi Yogat Dhananjaya, compare this to Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. It has effortlessly moved into the other sound. Duren He Avaram Karma. Imagine this. I'm exaggerating, but Duren He Avaram Karma or Duren Hyavaram Karma. See how it is beautifully joined, and that is the joy of Sandhi. So who wants to do this partha today? Any volunteers or victims? All right, Pankaj ji, let's go for it.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणम् अन्विच्छ कृपणा फलहेतवः.
Yeah, that's good. Buddhau Sharanama. Ma has to have a little weight. Remember, this is not half. Buddhau Sharanaman Vichha Krapana Phalahetavaha. That fa is going to be very subtle. Okay. Very good. Very, very well done. I think you're getting very good at it. Soon you'll be recorded and we can play. And it's not too far. In a year, 2 years, you should have that. Not to compete with anyone, just for the fun of recording. Anybody else? No? What happened? Otherwise, I'll start picking people. So you better come out.
I'll go.
Okay, Jiten, go for it.
Jiten, would you? Yeah.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणम् अन्विच्छ कृपणा फलहेतवः.
Good. You just have to flow. Don't stop. Flow. All right, who else? Sakshi ji, come on, let's do it.
ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय.
Where did she go? I thought she's raised her hand, no?
Yeah. Maybe Jiten has raised his hand.
Jiten?
दूरेण
Yeah. Go
am I
ahead.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
दूरेण हेयवरं करं बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय बुद्धो शरणं न विच्छ कृपणा फलहेतवा.
Okay, so let's do it again. We'll do it again. So when we say pa in Sanskrit, it's a pa. It's not a fa. Pa. Phala. Urdu, yeah, phala. Pa. Not fa. Pa. Just the lips touching. Pa. Phala. Okay.
फल
Durena hyavaram karma. Let's do this again. Sakshi ji.
दूरेण हेयवरं करम
Ruko. Durena hyavaram karma.
दूरेण हेयवरं करम
Here.
here
Here.
here
Yeah, here. Just like in English, you say here. Here.
here here
Yeah, बहुत अच्छा. दूरेण ह्यवरम कर्म.
दूरेण हेयवरं करम
शाबाश. बुद्धि योगा धनंजय.
बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय
Very good. You're stretching. Let the voice stretch a little bit. Buddhau sharanaman vichha.
बुद्धो शरणं न विच्छ
No. Buddhau.
बुद्धौ
Sharanama. Is a full now. Ma is not half. Sharanama. You can put weight on it. Sharanaman vichha. Buddhau sharanaman vichha. Break
बुद्धो
it down.
शरणं न विच्छ
Vapas karo. Well, let's do it again. Sharana man vichha. Let's do this. Sharana
बुद्धो
man. Yeah, go ahead.
बुद्धो शरणमन् विच्छ
Shabash. Let's do it one more time. Buddhau.
बुद्धौ
Oh, not O. Buddhau.
बुद्धौ
Buddhau.
बुद्धौ शरणमन् विच्छ
Shabash. Sharana. Say Sharana.
शरण
Man vichha.
मन विच्छ.
Manvicha, shabash. Now say Buddhau
बुद्धौ शरण मन विच्छ.
Sharana. Sharana. Put weight on it. Don't be shy. Sharana. Say Sharana.
शरण शरण
Manvicha.
मन
Manvicha.
विच्छ. मन
Yeah.
विच्छ.
Shabash. Buddhau Sharana Manvicha.
बुद्धौ शरण मन विच्छ.
Shabash. Now you practice. Do it 10 times and you'll get it. It'll come. I promise you. Kripanaf. Just keep that little first sound. Kripanaf Phalhetavaha.
कृपणा फल हेतव.
Hetavaha. Remember
कृपणा
that visarga.
फल हेतव.
Vaha. Kripanaf Phalhetavaha.
कृपणा फल हेतव.
Shabash. Now that Kripana and Pa, there will be a little sound. Kripanaf. Kripanaf Phalhetavaha.
कृपणा फल हेतव.
Shabash. Very good. Excellent. So it's just practice. Now you just do it. Do it 10 times and I guarantee you, you will be doing it better than Pankaj ji.
Shall I do it once in a
Yes,
like
do it.
continuously?
Go for it.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जय बुद्धो शरणमणविच्छ कृपणा कृपणा फलहेतवः.
Beautiful. You have the essence of it. Now it's practice. You have
Okay.
the flow, you have the tone, you raise the voice, you brought it down. You're like that child who is has all the notes. Now you just have to put the exact words in. You have it. You got it. So don't be shy now. You're doing very well. You're doing better than I am. I couldn't. My voice is not as modulated. All right. Who else? Anybody else? Okay, Parulji, go for it.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणम् अन्विच्छ कृपणः फलहेतवः.
Hetavaha. Vaha.
कृपणः फलहेतवः.
So the visarga is like an echo. I'm done, right? Normal languages, you would say Kripana Phalahetava, but it doesn't end. Visarga is to create outwardly. It is the sound that you're putting out. So it comes back. Kripana Phalahetava ha. Hetava ha.
हेतवः.
Hetavaha. And this visarga does beautiful things to the language. One of my favorite sounds. Most painful to master, but one of the most beautiful sounds. So very good. And if you start enjoying this, this will become a part of you. Two sounds are very unique to Sanskrit. Again, every sound is unique, but one is the anuswara and one is the visarga. If you see every varga, kavarga, ka, ka, ga, ga, n, right? Ta, tha, da, dha, na. The final word becomes a nasal sound. And then there is a nasal sound, like ma, chandra, that is all nasal, anuswara. And visarga is more you're pushing air out. So there are theories about it. Anuswara is you're holding it in, ma, holding it in. But if I said maha, I'm pushing it out. So these are the changes in the sound that are of great importance in developing us as yogis. The mantra purusha, each of us is a purusha made of dhvani. Dhvani here doesn't mean just sound, it's the energy. We are that energy being. Mantra purusha, the word that is used for us. So when we do these mantras the right way, we are developing, just like you developed this body, you grew up, your mom fed you, your dad protected you, you did exercise. Now we're exercising the mantra purusha. A little baby grows physically. Now here, the mantra purusha is growing. You're developing the sounds. You're hearing it. You're speaking it. Eventually, you'll realize that you are the sound. You are that energy. Same thing we do in japa. You keep doing the same sound, the mantra again and again and again until you stop doing it. And then it continues. And it's called a japa. You don't have to say it. It continues. Your energy continues. Technically, eternally. Continues that. So we are that energy field, whichever way, but our ancients use the term mantra purusha. It's again a yogic way of developing that physical, psychological body or the psycho-spiritual body. So from the body, we move to a psychological part of our body. From the psychological body, we will move to the spiritual part of the body. It becomes easy. And all these sounds, of course, I love sounds, I love this, but it's just good so that you appreciate it. And as you start doing mantra, and that is why we brought this mantra into our Gita, because Gita cannot be understood just mentally. Gita has to be tasted, has to be touched with your lips, with your hands, with your ears, with your eyes. You have to touch it. And it has to completely take you in its arms like a mother. We have to have that embrace, and every sense has to be touching the Gita. And that's how I think we will have a very close relationship with Sri Krishna, because this sound is the mantra purusha of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna's sound is still here. His body is still here. He's still here. Why? How? By his sound. His energies are here. And that was the meaning of our mantra. When we did mantra in the Rig Veda and all that, the Rishi would leave all his energy, put it in sound and leave it for you. Here I am, always with you, never will leave you. All my accomplishments are here for you. Whatever siddhi I achieved, here, take it. If we learn how to absorb it, all those siddhis become ours. Look at the beautiful gift that each great rishi has given us. Each great rishi has a lineage and he has accomplished something beautiful for humanity. And then he puts it in the mantra and he hands it over to us. And those who read Sri Aurobindo will understand what he means by the mantra. The mantra is the highest expression of human speech. Vaka, highest expression in sound and words. Of course, there are higher levels in Tantra. They talk about paravaka, beyond speech. But that is a much higher level. Here we are touching that mantra in experience, from our indris, from our senses. And that is the beauty, that we can touch it and feel it and even swallow it and inhale it and eat it. It becomes a complete part of our senses. Okay, so Aviralji, I knew you were going to come with a question. He's ready.
So before that, Dr. P. Swati also said she would like to chant.
Okay, please, let's do it.
Yeah.
I think this is the most important thing, even more than meaning. If you all become comfortable with the sounds, I think my job is done. Parulji, are you saying something or you're just practicing?
I was just reading it.
Okay,
Just
okay, okay.
practicing it.
Okay. Swati, where is she?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Dureण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगा धनञ्जया बुद्धो शरणमन्विच्छ कृपाणफलहेतवा.
Hetavaha. Very good. So a little
Hetavaha.
hesitation. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
hesitating a little bit. Let's do it again. You have a very beautiful approach to it. Don't be too shy. I feel that you're holding yourself back.
Okay, I'll try again. दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगधनञ्जया
Don't
Buddho.
rush through it. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya.
Okay. Durena hyavaram karma. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Buddho sharanam Kripan phal hetava.
Kripana. Kripana phalhetavah.
Kripana phal hetava.
Hetavah. Vaha.
Hetavah.
Hetavah.
I'm
Oh,
struggling with Kripan and Pha, how to bring it
you're
together.
thinking of Kripan. Kripan is not the word. Krapana. Say
Oh,
Krapana.
Kripan.
Krapana.
Kripana.
Say
Kripana.
Krapana. Learn to break it
Kri-
into small pieces. Yeah. Krapana.
Kripana. Pha,
Phala.
phal
Phala.
hetava.
Hetavah.
Kripana phal hetava.
Hetavah.
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 That is the Visarga.
Phal
Now you've got the
hetavah.
Visarga. Yeah.
Phal
Don't forget the Visarga.
hetavah.
When we say Om Shanti 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 He, we don't say Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti 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 He. What is that He? That is the Visarga. Visarga is a very important part of our mantras. Otherwise, you won't get the Shanti completely. You'll get Ashanti. That Shanti has to carry through. In fact, each word has a Visarga. Shanti, every time you say Shanti has a Visarga. But because it is followed by the next Sha, the Visarga disappears for the first two. So you will say Om Shanti 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 He. Then the sound becomes complete. Your Mantra Purusha is then satisfied. Okay, now I'm complete. Otherwise, your Mantra Purushas will go inside, twisted all. You didn't even give me the complete sound. You didn't give me my whole food. Kripana phalahe tavaha. So you're feeding
Kripana phal hetavah.
hetavaha.
Hetavah.
Shabash. Do it again.
Hetavah.
Kripana phalahe tavaha.
Kripana phal hetavah.
Vaha.
Hetavah.
Yeah.
Hetavah.
Kripana phalahe tavaha.
Kripana phal hetavah.
Shabash.
Hetavah.
Hetavaha. Imagine as if there's a her written after it.
Actually, I'm
He-
trying to make it flow. I don't want it to stand out. The her, I'm trying it to be like, smoother. So if I
Okay, okay.
say fal hetavaha, I can say fal hetavaha, but her is standing out. So I want it to be much more smoother. So that's
Array,
where
it's
I'm
meant to
stuck.
stand out and not fa, pa, 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 pa,
Ha, ha.
pa. That's good.
Kripana fal hetava. Ha.
Ha,
I'll practice it
ha.
later.
Yeah, the ha has to stand out. It has, if you don't make it stand out, then you have not used the visarga. Visarga means visarjaniya, the other word that is visarjaniya, that you give out. You're pushing it out. With all your energy, you're pushing it out.
Fal
So,
hetava.
etavaha, etavaha, krapana phala. Okay, anyway. So
Thank
listen, let's play Swamiji again, Swami Brahmanandji, if you don't mind. Listen to him, how beautifully he does it.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विष्य कृपणः फलहेतवः.
Got it? He's much
Yeah,
smoother,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
How
yeah.
beautifully he puts it all together. And each person has his own style. But so see, he's not afraid of using the visarga. Don't be afraid. I think so. I think it's a good exercise that everyone has done. And there was a time when we were trying to improve everyone's smarana shakti and go back to Shloka 31 and Hopefully next time we can do from 31 till 49, all the shlokas. So that's okay. We'll help you. We will go back and we'll try it. You're going to remember chapter 2. You're going to memorize it. If not mentally, it will be absorbed in your cells. And you will be solid. You will be strong with Shri Krishna's sounds. Anything else? I don't know if there was a question. Aviralji had put some questions. I was trying to ignore it.
Aviral has a question. Aviral, do you want to just ask?
Yes. Dr. Saab, today I have just too many questions running in mind, so I am
That's
just
okay. That's okay.
calming myself down on that. There are too many, but which one should? So this one goes like, I mean, Thal Hetva and just having a Hetu, right? A Hetava. Isn't having a Hetu itself a Kripan-like situation?
Yeah. So Hetavaha. Hetavaha is only a vibhakti of Hetu. Hetavaha
But to
is a vibhakti.
qualify that with the Thal, right? Uh, uh, is there a difference? Like, I mean, okay, I don't want a phal out of it, but there is something I want out of it. Isn't
But
that?
isn't that the phala? If you want
Yes,
something out
yes.
of it, that is the phala, no?
That's what. So it's the same, right? Uh,
It is the poet's freedom, yaar. How are you going to argue with the poet? He's given a beautiful sound. It's a butterfly in the garden, right? Now you're going to say, no, this wing is a little larger. Let me cut it out. No, the butterfly is complete as it is, right? So you enjoy the butterfly. So phala hetavaha. So what would it have been if I had said, if you remove your phala, buddhau sharanam anvichha kripana hetavaha, that
so
your
poetically,
sound is gone.
anything that he is putting out there, there is
Yes.
a meaning to it. So if he's
Yes.
phal, it has a special meaning. That's why I'm maybe I'm just taking it too seriously out there.
No, it is. So phala hetavaha. So you are seeking after a fruit. Now remember, he's talking to Arjuna. What is Arjuna wanting? Why did he run away or want to run away? Remember Arjuna Vishada. He does not want to kill his people. Isn't that the problem? First, it hits him that he is going to kill his teacher, his pitamaha, his family, his teacher, his pitamaha, his family. If there were anybody else, there would be no problem. Now he comes up with all the reasoning behind, all the subtle logic. What would it do to the kula? What would it do to the nation? Right? But there's an emotional, vital reaction that this cannot be right. The standards that he's using to fight the war have all been demolished. The dharma that he is using to fight in this Kurukshetra are gone. He realizes that. No longer can he say that I'm the Kshatriya standing up for my kula. He's not standing up for his kula. No longer can he say I'm standing up for my Rashtra. He's not standing up for his Rashtra. He's going to destroy the Rashtra. He's going to destroy the kula. His dharma as a family man itself is gone. He's going to kill his own family. Most of it. So by what standards can he fight this war? Number one. Right? If there are no standards, then what's the point fighting the war? Isn't that his question? Because if I don't fight, I will do better good to myself and to everyone than if he fought the war, than if I fight the war. So that is the challenge. So Sri Krishna gives him a basic understanding of the dharma that by which he has to fight. Basically, he's replacing the old dharma, the social man, the ethical man, the practical man, the mental man. That's how we work in life, right? All our actions are social man, father, businessman, running an organization. These are the standards. We have to protect them. Now, if we take away those standards, then by what standards will you live? And Sri Krishna is basically giving him a new dharma. He gives him the dharma in the second chapter. After he has given him the dharma, it should be all over. But no, Arjuna is even more confused because it's not enough. So Arjuna asks him, why are you confusing me? And we'll come to that in the 3rd chapter. You have confused me totally. Right? Then Sri Krishna begins with his wider treatment of the whole dharma, of the whole jnana of the Gita. So these are preliminaries, but he's talking to Arjuna that seeking after a fruit is lowly and the aim of a wretched person, of a beggar. So when you, Arjuna, say that I want to act because of this reason, your very reasoning is wretched. Your very approach is wretched. In fact, you are like a beggar. Krapana. Right? And the krapana word comes again and again. Tam tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam. The first shloka of the 2nd adhyaya. He's filled with that sense of kripa. He wants to do good, but it is filled with pain. It is not the compassion of the divine yogi, that there is compassion towards everyone. This compassion is a divided compassion because this compassion is for himself. This compassion comes out of self-pity. This compassion comes out of ego. It's a sattvic ego, but it still is because it's my people. He's protecting his people, his kula, his rashtra. Still there is a subtle connection. That Sri Krishna will end up destroying. At the end, there is no such thing as my work, my people, my dharma, my rashtra. It is all Sri Krishna's will. So he's talking about you're doing an action for a reason. That is a beggar's approach. So I would say the phala hetava is there for emphasis. The phala hetava, if he had said just hetavaha, there would not be the emphasis, the stress. And Sri Krishna is here not as a poet, as a grammarian. Sri Krishna is giving a lesson, not only to Arjuna, but to all of us. And he has to hammer it in ourselves. So whatever the rhythm is right, the sounds are right, plus phal hetavaha, it's a samasa, right? Phala hetava, phala hetu, phala hetava. So there are different kinds of samas, and we haven't done those. Dvandva samas, bahuvrihi samas, karma dharaya samas. We won't go into that because everyone will start throwing stones at their own computers. But this is a samas. When two words come together and create a new meaning, right? So if I say, let's say blueberry. You know what a blueberry is?
Yeah.
Blue, berry. But coming together, what does blueberry mean? Any berry that is blue or a special kind of a berry? So the words come together and create a new sense. Right? So phala hetavaha is a new sense that is created. That's the joy of the samasa. The words don't have the same meaning. Otherwise, there's no point sticking them together. Then it becomes a dvandva samas. Sita Ram. Okay, Sita Ram. Both are equal. That's a dvandva samas. But this is a different kind of a samas. Phala hetavaha. So there are different kinds. Karma dharaya. One is more prominent, less one is the other. Sometimes there's a samas which points outside itself. So the words, so if I say blueberry, blueberry is neither in the blue nor in the berry. It's something, it's indicating towards something outside. And we use it in the language all the time. So that was the significance of the phala hetava. That's the little that I can make sense of.
And when we say kripan here, clearly bhiksha and bhikshuk and kripan are not the same. Clearly, right? Because bhiksha
Even lower.
is seen
Krapana
as,
is even lower than a bhikshuk.
so there is a kripa element in kripan, if I am not wrong, that you're living on someone's kripa in a way.
Yes.
Right. But bhiksha is also seen like that, right? That it's a virtue to live like a bhikshuk.
Right.
Uh, but they are different, clearly very different. A kripan
Yeah,
is lower order, as you mentioned. I'm
the
just
significance of the word is far more important. If he had said a bhikshuk, right? Bhikshukaha, bhikshukaha phalhetavaha. Bhikshuk has a spiritual significance. Kripana is one who is poor, who is lowly, who is like a beggar, who is wretched soul. At least in Sanskrit, that is, and it's a beautiful use of the word Kripana, because the second chapter starts, if I'm remember correctly, with the word Kripa, right? Tam tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam, filled with kripa, karuna, right? I'm sorry, I just referenced outside, but the first shloka of the second chapter, so that is the genius of the Gita. The Gita interweaves those sounds and the meanings throughout. And even the nirukta, the roots are interwoven. And we had studied that last time. Someone pointed out siddhya siddhyoh, right? Then siddhya siddhyos samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate, and then connected it to the 38th shloka of the second chapter. So this is how they are connected. That is, the Gita is a work of music. All our works, the great works, are actually works of sound. And there is a hidden, almost think of it like a raga. And remember where the raga came from. Raga came from these mantras. So there's an interweaving of these root sounds. And if we can catch them, they enhance our pleasure. So that's why Kripana was the beautiful, Kripanaha is a beautiful usage, because he's reminding us of what happened in the past, and he's using that to show that this is lowly. So I can't tell you how I was writing my book, then we got distracted, but someday it will happen, which will try to show the literary genius of the Gita. So I think we should be done now.
Parul has a related question, Dr. P.
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, it might have been answered. How is the word Kripana related to the word Kripa, or is it not?
It is. It is Kripa. Kripa is the root, and the sense of Kripa is to feel for someone. And even so feeling for someone. So Kripa is that. Kripana is someone who has become lowly, because you feel for that person. Why? Because they've become lowly. Because of how they've treated themselves, or because how the world treats them. So Kripana, usually we use, in Hindi at least, Kripana is one who's a beggar. Or Kripana who's very poor, who is so poor that he has nothing. But the whole idea is that you are not poor. You are the Purusha. You have everything. You are everything. You're not Kripana at all. You never were Kripana. You don't need anything outside you to be successful in life. Jitan is saying there is Dhananjaya and Kripana. That's beautifully picked up. Very beautifully picked up. Because Arjuna is the conqueror of the riches. Dhananjaya, Sampada. This is not just money. And here immediately there is an opposite sense that you're acting like a beggar, because you're doing things for a reason. You who have conquered the opulence, the riches of the world, you are fighting as if you are nothing. And this was a very hard shloka for me, because it really hit it on my head. And I really appreciated this. And always I remind myself, if I'm doing something for a reason, I'm acting like a beggar. So I think that should be enough, right? Makaranji, do you have anything to say? Makaranji may not be here. He's Aviralji, Kripana could be Kri to act on, plus Pana hands. It is a vibhakti. I will look at the word, but Kripa is the root. And I can check the roots. I usually go to the reference and I don't want to give you a wrong answer. So let me check the root and I'll text it to everyone. I think Kripa comes as the root, and I have that Whitney's roots, all the root sounds. So I can give it to you. I don't, although you can make it, that Pana is hands here, but I think and that's the joy of Sanskrit, because it connects with other words which have a related, connected meaning. Let me check and then get back to you. Okay, I guess we are done. Just 5 minutes beyond our limit. We've done very well today. So Aviralji, your questions are very good. It is, and Jiten, you picked up something very beautiful. So let's start analyzing it ourselves, and that's the fun. And you'll find so much. It's like going on a treasure hunt. Everyone find something beautiful, and then you little gold for everyone. That's the joy. We all should do that. Okay. Pranam. Namaste.
Pranam.